Hey, troops, Roy from Geeks Adventures. Woohoo! So we all know what dropped on Friday, right? Okay, so this is the spoiler-filled review. Well, how spoiler-filled can it be when this movie already came out? But we are going to do that anyway. So the non-spoiler-filled review. I liked it. And you're going, oh hell, Roy. I liked it. I liked the original. I enjoyed the original. Here's what you run into. This is like a mega steroid filled director's extended edition of Justice League in many ways. Okay, remember when Lord of the Rings came out, and you're going, oh, some things are reshot. A lot of stuff has been added. A lot of cool looking stuff. Does it change what is? It's still about Steppenwolf. It's still about the world dealing with mourning for Superman, yada, yada, yada. So in that respect, the extra stuff, though, kind of cool. This is a superhero. The original is basically a Batman Superman film. Oh, and by the way, there are these other people we're gonna throw in. This has more of the feel of the Avengers in that it is a group film. It is about all of them together, which is pretty dang cool. Oh, and very important, there is to call it post-credit scenes, there is a actual whole chapter called Epilogue. The last epilogue. I think that's what breaks my heart most about this film, is that the very last epilogue is what could have been. And it wasn't. Hey. All right, so that is the non-spoiler film. Okay, spoiler shield, people. Okay, how spoilery can a review be when the movie already came out? But you get the idea. Okay. Spoiler shield, all right? You with the Iron Man Forever t-shirt in the back. Stop making faces, all right? Are we cool? All right. Yeah. You in the back with the Michael Keaton Forever t-shirt. Yeah, we know. And sorry, but I like Bale, but Keaton was cool. Keaton was way cool. Okay, are we done? Spoiler shield. All right. Okay. Now I know some of you are screaming at me going, what do you mean it's almost like the Lord of the Rings extended cut? They added it. Slow down. Okay. Let's be honest here. The story didn't change, okay? This is still Superman's dead. World's dealing with it. That's the crux of the story. And his being dead suddenly had other dominoes fall where Steppenwolf, our uber minion of Darkseid, goes, it's time for me to make up with my boss. And he comes back to Earth and, from the original movie. Okay. Basically, I'm doing this in two parts. And as you can tell from how things are going, this first part is where you're going to want to throw things at your screen, maybe. Okay, easy. In a lot of ways, this kind of emphasizes the issues. And actually the other thing is, you're going to hear me do all these comparisons constantly to MCU versus DC. Guess what? That's what this has always been. From an obvious marketing intellectual property money making thing. That's always what this was. Actually, I should warn you further that this isn't just a review. This is basically just talking about what this whole MCU thing, DC universe thing, etc., etc., etc. From the onset, it's been obvious that the suits at Warner Brothers were having obvious envy and saw the potential for money making because MCU blah 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 blah. And what the suits in Warner Brothers, what marketing obviously always forgets is that everything that Kevin Feige has accomplished, what Disney, no, not Disney. Disney just threw checks and went, you know what? Whatever money Robert Downey Jr. makes, that's a lot of money. Okay, maybe not that much money, Whatever Feige wants, Feige gets. That's Disney's job. Feige, MCU, the vast, massive group of people working on the MCU. The testament to what they've done, and the fact that Warner Brothers, all these suits, and I emphasize the suits. I'm going to say it, that they were stupid enough to think that they could take I counted 17 films from Iron Man 1 to Endgame. They tried to compress 17 films, like 20 years of work, into 3 films. Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Justice League. And I say the suits because there has always been talk from the onset with Justice League of his vision, his idea. Now, yes, there is a longer discussion about what his vision meant, what people hate about it, blah, blah, blah. No, that's something else entirely. He saw something. And all of us have really strong opinions about Zack Snyder. But he, like Feige, he saw something vast and what he thought was a wonderful, we can do this. Was it going to be as effective, successful as what Feige had him out? Like I said, that's a whole... But he saw something. And unfortunately, Warner Brothers being Warner Brothers, because they were trying to ramrod this dang thing, the square peg round hole, bam, with a rail gun. The 4 hours, which is this magnum opus, if you will, which is the Snyder Cut, is an attempt to try and cram all that as best as you can. And unfortunately, it is a reminder of there's a reason it took 17 dang movies to get to Endgame. The classic example of that is the anti-life equation. Now, as a comic book fan, hearing the word anti-life equation brought up, it reminds me of the first time you see Thanos at the end of Avengers and in that post-credit scene, where for the second time, people who aren't comic book fans were going, the first time, of course, was Nick Fury and the Avengers Initiative. The second, because, they're all going, who's the purple guy? And geeks like me are all going, yeah! And you get a ton of movies for everyone else to get filled in, along with all those talks from people like me and people going, they still haven't shot up. Oh, Lordy, how many hours has it been? 2 hours. Wow, okay. The anti-life equation is like that. We've been prepped with stepping, even from the initial film, the original cut of Justice League, even in the the brief nightmare sequence in Batman v Superman, and we got an idea at least of Darkseid, who this guy is, yada yada yada, and then we get this other thing dropped of the anti-life equation in this, and it's like, what? Huh? One more MacGuffin to try and figure out, so that geeks like me are going again. Oh, that's what they're looking for. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And for me, the anti-life equation is a big deal within the vast mythology, which is this whole thing. And it just gets dropped on you, and you're just stuck there going, what's the big deal? What? Huh? Yes, there is an explanation of it, but rather than have this really neat build up and all these bits of this moment of discovery, which is part of what film is. Film is about, you get these breadcrumbs that lead you to the payoff. And you don't get that. You're getting this kind of high-speed Chris Nolan-esque download of, oh, well, the anti-life equation is this thing that actually lets you take over the minds of other people. And it's like, oh, okay, all it is information. It's not this dramatic buildup. Now you're going, oh, great, so you hated it, didn't you? No. Okay. Okay. Remember, I was from the beginning. I said I still liked it. Okay. Okay. The good news is that you brought in the key thing is you brought in all these bits and pieces. It's one of the funny things for me watching this was that Justice League is really a Batman Superman film, and Wonder Woman. Sorry, not bad. With all these other people thrown in. Okay, I mean seriously, think about it. That's what it was in the end. Oh, that's what. Yeah, that's what marketing wanted because, well, Batman's the number one character and Superman, blah, blah, blah. And Wonder Woman suddenly met all these, our test audiences, all this corporate garbage that forgets that this is art, people, and you're using the Mona Lisa for toilet paper, folks. Stop, please. What all of this is, what these additional scenes reminded us of is that this is meant to be a group film. This is meant to be like the Avengers. And guess what? The Avengers movies, all of them, it's not just watching Robert Downey Jr. go off. All right? All of the Avenger films are group films about the Avengers, and that's what this became with all these additional scenes. You get to see everybody gets to do cool stuff, and you are reminded of why all these people are brought together. And the best example of that, which everyone has been gushed on, Cyborg. Now, and the ironic thing is, I remember when the movie first came out, I'm like, okay, you're going to use Cyborg in here, okay. And watching the film going, Cyborg's cool. Dang. After this, I want a Cyborg film. All right. I want a Cyborg movie, okay? They added so much to him. The origin, everything. It's like, dang, man. Somebody do the movie, okay? Because you created this wonderful character. No. Zach, Ray Fisher, all these people created this wonderful character. You managed to do one of the few times you managed to do what the MCU did with like Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man. You took a character that isn't one of the big three because marketing says so, made him cool. All right. What else? This is kind of a double-bladed sword, because this is unfortunately also kind of exemplifies the problem, so to speak, with the film, but also what was really cool in it is that last epilogue. Yeah, that thing I gushed about in the very beginning, like, wow, the last epilogue. Okay, so we get the fever. It's like a continuation of the fever dream that Bruce had, where he's in the future and Superman's gone off the reservation. I remember I remember first seeing this, and I'm like, the heck? Seeing him in the future with the ships from Apocalypse, and seeing Flash in his super armor, seeing Mara there, really pissed, seeing Deathstroke there. Of course, Batman's there. Um, and the funny thing is that there has been talk about Jared Leto filming all this stuff, and talk about one of those moments of psych made you look. The dialogue that you saw in all the teasers is not used in this scene, where suddenly you see the Joker, and seems to be kind of working an uneasy truce with Batman to take on the other guy. I mean, the other guy, blue guy. Well, in this case, I think he's in black when he shows up in this scene. Um, and it's set in the future. Lois is dead. And you see, well, actually, it's a lot of Jared Leto talking smack to Bruce the whole time. And like I said, it's a double-bladed sword, because it's a neat scene, because set in the future. Oh, it's the Joker, blah blah blah, all this other foolishness. At the same time, though, it's also a reminder of what could have been, but ain't happening, because Warner Brothers ain't going to go any further with this foolishness. Because you create this beautiful thing, but it's not going to happen. But the anticipation, what did happen, what led to all this? Hearing the Joker talk smack to Bruce constantly about Lois, about, we presume, about Dick, Tim, whoever was wearing the Robin suit that was in the case in Batman v Superman, all that stuff. And seeing, literally seeing Batman make a deal with Satan. And of course he wakes up. And wakes up to John Jones, Martian Manhunter. And one of the fun things about that scene, is the fact that when he wakes up, it's funny seeing Bruce wake up, and John, he flies down to let him know, hey, hi, I'm around too, I'm here to help. Ben Affleck looks kind of like Danny Ocean does after a bad day. He still looks good, but that tired look of, oh God, now what? Yes, one of the cool things that is brought up is Martian Manhunter shows up. No, not a whole lot. Confirmation from a lot of fan theories that yes, Martian Manhunter has always been around, etc., etc. Cool suit. Hey, Todd McFarlane, another action figure. That would be kind of cool. But what really kind of emphasized what Zach was trying to emphasize with this recut is the closing monologue. In the original film, it's Lois. Lois has gotten back into writing. She's found the muse to write again. And her monologue, and it is her first article, and it talks about how Superman's return, heroism, the returning of the light. That's God. I like that monologue, and that was replaced. It's replaced by Silas and a last message to Victor, and talking about responsibility, about heroism. And at first I wondered, why. It was a great monologue, nonetheless, but I wondered, why exchange it. And It was because a reminder that this is not a Superman Batman story. It's a story about all of them together. About this group, this group of disparate people taking on something greater, taking on something massive. And that's really frippin' cool. So yeah, there we go. Wow, that was a long babble, wasn't it? So yeah, so I know some of you are getting ready to throw things, but yet all these things are transformed. Da, 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 da. It is still the same basic story, and yes, actually seeing Darkseid and Desaad was cool. That was very, very cool. In a nutshell, it like I said, it feels like the extended editions of the Lord of the Rings, where you've added a lot of stuff, but in the end, it's still what that base story is. But nonetheless, that's some cool stuff he added. The sad news is that it's a reminder of, wow, what could have been. What this huge epic that Snyder tried to create. Oh, and actually one more thing. One more thing. And as I mentioned in my first discussion about the Snyder Cut and the teaser and whatnot, I'll put that article in the description below. I hope I remember to do that. For me, one of the main reasons I've been kind of, as ambivalent I am about this whole thing, one of the reasons I've been kind of glad to see it is that you hear so much talk about how much, the long history of the making of this film that is a documentary in of itself. The fact that after everything the Snyder family has gone through, to see Zack get an opportunity to go, you know what, this is what my vision was. I think we get caught up a lot in the time of how we feel about films, about things in general. Unfortunately, the internet tends to take all these things and mucks it up a lot. Because some of the stuff is, it's just, look, it was a gig, I got paid for it. Yeah, it's crap. Sometimes, other times it is a labor of love. And I remember years ago, this is when the snowball first started of, y'all gotta ease up when you talk about films and unleash your opinions, because this was in the middle, I forget what film it was, but it was getting lots of bad vitriol, people were hating on it, yada yada yada. And I don't remember if it was a director, but it was a member of the crew that said point blank, look, we get the idea that it didn't come out like we hoped, but look, guys, no one goes out to make a piece of crap. Okay, no one goes out to take a dump on this work when they're working on it. So, we know what we made, but you gotta ease up, okay? It's like, a friend's mother can be kind of but you don't go out going off for 3 hours about how much you hate this woman. At a certain point, you get the opinion out and then you stop. Same thing with this. At a certain point, shut up and stop. We get the idea. And you don't need to use it like toilet paper and throw it in someone's face and then flush it down the toilet. At a certain point, stop. And that's been happening with this film in the beginning. And it was good to see Zack get a chance to go, look, this is what I really had in mind. and perfect or not, and to say, look, this is what I wanted to create, and for him to have that opportunity after all the hell he went through, that he and what he and Deborah went through, that's cool. And I think the fact that the crew, the cast, all these people throughout for years have been saying, look, there's something else there. The fact, because most of the time, it's a gig, at a certain point. But the fact that all these people, Ray Fisher, a lot of these folks are going to bat for Zach. Well, no, there's something else there. Y'all need to ease up on the man, because there's something there, and it's not his fault that this is what happened. The fact that, he was given this opportunity to do this, that's cool. So bless him for that. I'm glad he's gotten that opportunity to do his next project through Netflix of the zombie film. I'm sorry, I don't remember what it was. So yeah. So what does this mean to everything? That's another whole long discussion, and I'm at 26 minutes, and y'all getting bored at this point. So there you go. The film's it is what it is. And even after watching it, even I'm as much, I did enjoy it, and enjoyed even the original version. In the end, still, nonetheless, this is a separate thing from the film. This is something entirely different. I'm glad you had a chance to do it. Bless your heart to the Snyder family for being able to do this, and to everyone that first started working on this. So anyway, I'm going to go because y'all going, oh God, he's done, thank God. So hey, y'all take care. May the force be with you. May the odds be in your favor. And let's be good to each other, okay, folks? Peace. Bye.